I shared a video on the side hustles that saved me from losing my mind during unemployment. And of the 300 plus comments that I got, the number one question that was asked most often is, where do I start? Where did I start with these side hustles? So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I started each of these side hustles and how I kind of scaled these side hustles. I'm also going to share how you can start in the very same side hustles if you are someone who needs to make some extra money because you're underemployed, or you don't want to be as dependent on a job, or maybe you are unemployed and need to make some money as well. Or maybe you just want to make some extra money so you can reach your financial goals. Lock in. Today, I'm going to talk about how I got started with some of my side hustles that are now, I guess, main hustles since I'm unemployed, and also how you can get started with some side hustles as well. Let's do this. I don't want to assume that everybody knows who I am. So really quickly, my name is Labria Jones. I am a single mom, over 40, navigating life, and honestly, just really focused on living life to the fullest. And I am sharing the things that I'm learning along the way, things that are working well, things that are not working well, in the hopes that it helps you as well. And today, what I'm talking about is navigating unemployment and not wanting to go back to work for anyone. For now, who knows, maybe I'll go back to work for somebody in the future. But for right now, I'm really focused on figuring out ways to make money for myself and sustain myself and help take care of my daughter, who is 21 years old and in college. One of the things that I would like to call out in this video as we dive into the things that people ask me about is I am the change in my life left a comment that said, while I really appreciate this, most of these things you have to be at a certain level to do. You have to have money to be in real estate, an audience to have brand deals and speaking engagements. Very inspired. You can do all this, but would love to hear about what to do when you are not at that level yet. That's part of why I wanted to do this video because, what I shared in my video is years and years of me building an audience to this person's point. Like I actually had to have an audience to make $20,000 on affiliate marketing for one course. She's absolutely right. But I also want to point out that I did start somewhere. So this whole video is really about where to start. Now, I do want to say I don't want my YouTube channel to become a side hustles channel, but I don't mind recording a few videos that are very important to the people watching these videos. And this is something that's important. It is something that is going to help bring more fulfillment in your lives and help you live life to the fullest. Making extra money and taking control of your finances is a huge part of life fulfillment. And so I do love this topic. I just want to say this is not about to become a freelancer channel. Okay. I'm going to start with affiliate marketing because that is the thing I got asked about the most. So let me tell you how I got started in affiliate marketing. I know right now you see that I recently landed at 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you, by the way. But if you go on my Instagram, you can see that I have over 60,000 followers on Instagram, and my email list is about 15,000 people. And so you see that and you say, well, of course she does affiliate marketing and does well with affiliate marketing because she has a following. Well, I didn't wake up with that following, right? So this is years and years of cultivating audiences and sharing information that made people want to hit the follow button or the subscribe button or the, give me their email address. This was years and years of cultivating that. But I want to tell you, I didn't wait until that happened to start with affiliate marketing. I was doing affiliate marketing well before I ever had a following. And I think it's important to know that you don't have to have a following to start doing affiliate marketing. You can start doing affiliate marketing right now. Just between the friends that you have, the connections and the network that you already have, you can start doing that right now. So let me tell you how I got started in affiliate marketing. I think the first affiliate marketing tools that I actually used, or the first affiliate marketing things that I shared, were Amazon links, Digit. If you guys remember Digit, it's an app that helps you easily save money, Self-Lender, and also my bank, right? So these were things where you could join their referral program and get a referral code. And if you shared it, you got money. So I am not a saver, not really good at saving money. That is not my thing. Like theoretically, I'm good at it. Like I can tell people how to do it. I know the concepts of it, but in practice, I'm a spender. So I actually really loved Digit because Digit saved money behind my back, basically. Digit would just go into my account really squirrely-like and swirl away with a little bit of money, and it wouldn't be a lot. And I realized Digit taught me a few things. It taught me that as a person who sees themselves as not a saver, I always thought I needed to be saving a lot of money to save. And what Digit taught me was that I could save 37 cents today, 82 cents tomorrow, $1.35 the day after that, because that's what Digit was doing. It was squirreling away small amounts of money every single day. And then you look up and boom, you've got like $500, you've got $1,000. And so I used Digit and was so surprised at how much this little bit of money every day amounted to in this savings account. And so I shared it on my Facebook page. I just shared it on my Facebook page with some of my friends, and a whole bunch of other people signed up. So if I remember, I want to say the first time I shared it, maybe 5 to 10 people signed up for it, and I got $10 for each person that signed up. So if 5 people signed up, I got $50. And then what happened was, a few months later, 6 months later, one of my friends sent me a text message saying how much she loved Digit and how basically it had saved her $3,000. She looked at Digit and she had $3,000 in her Digit account. And so then I went and shared her testimonial and shared my link again. And then more people signed up and I got even more money from it. And that is affiliate marketing. I did not have a following. I don't even think I had an Instagram account yet. I'm sure I had an Instagram account. Let me stop playing. But I definitely didn't have a following on Instagram, and I wasn't using Instagram for affiliate marketing at that time. All I did was share it on Facebook to my friends. I was like, I'm using this cool thing. And I think that is one of the keys of effective affiliate marketing, is sharing affiliates and referrals for things that you believe in and that have actually helped you. I did the same thing with this program called Self. It used to be called Self Lender. It changed to Self. It's essentially a program where you lend yourself money. I don't want to go into the details of how it actually works, but it's something that you can use to help boost your credit. So it is a credit boosting tool. At the time, I was trying to boost my credit because I wanted to buy another house. And so I signed up for this thing, and over the course of maybe 6 months or so, I ended up getting about a 20 or 30 point boost in my credit. Now, when I first signed up for it, I told people about it. I posted on my Facebook and told my friends like, hey, I signed up for this thing because I'm trying to do X, Y, Z. And a couple of other people signed up for it, and they actually sent me checks. Every single time somebody signed up, they sent me a $10 check. I'm not kidding, like a physical check. But I shared it. And then what happened was I ended up getting a 20 or 30 point boost to my credit score. And so I shared that. I shared the results on my Facebook page with a link, and people signed up. And then someone else shared their results, and then I used that as a testimonial to reshare. And so at some point I was like, you know what? I've been doing a lot of things that have been helping me, make money on the side, save money on the side, boost my credit, stuff like that. I'm going to write a blog post about these things. And so I wrote a blog post. I think I ended up using Medium. So Medium was a blogging platform that a lot of people used at the time, where you didn't have to set up your own website. It was completely free at the time. And you could just go on there and write blogs, write whatever you wanted. And so I went on there and wrote a blog about ways that I've been saving money and building my credit. And I shared these. And I shared the links to Digit. I shared the link to Self. I shared the link to, it was Ebates at the time. It's Rakuten. I shared Rakuten. I shared a couple of other things that if people signed up for it, I would actually get affiliate credit for it. It doesn't cost anybody any extra money. It's just basically a thank you from the organization for referring someone. That's it. And so I wrote a blog post, and I ended up making, pretty good money off of all of that. Just literally sharing it to the network that I already have. This is not me audience building. This was me sharing it with my friends on Facebook. One of the things I hate is to see YouTube videos and Instagram videos saying things like Target will pay you $2,000 a month, or Amazon will pay you $5,000 a month. Here's what I don't like about that. I don't like that it gives the impression that this is a work from home job. A lot of people will pose it as work from home or work remote jobs, that Target is hiring you or Amazon is hiring you, and this is guaranteed money. It's not guaranteed money, and you have to build up to that. So you will never hear me say that you're going to wake up tomorrow and get rich off of affiliate marketing, right? It does absolutely take time to build an audience. But I do want you to know that you don't need to have the audience to start. You can be building yourself as an affiliate marketer and building your audience at the same time. That's what I did. I started making at least a little bit of money off of affiliate marketing well before I started building an audience. And then once I built an audience, I could send people to that blog post that I made, and it already exists, right? This is a piece of content that's evergreen. If you're interested in getting into affiliate marketing, you can start there. Start with just sharing things with your friends and on Facebook and with people that you already know. If you're out and about and someone asks you about the outfit that you have on, sign up for the Amazon influencer program. And so when you share something that you bought, you can actually share the referral code. Anything that you buy and you love, look into the organization and see if they have a referral program. I just want to call out that while everybody's right, you do have to have a following to make a lot of money on affiliate marketing, you don't have to have a huge following to start. So just start. You can start writing blog posts. Hell, even when you share in your Instagram stories, you can share the link to something that you purchased. If you got excited about, oh man, one of my friends purchased the Care of vitamins, those cute little vitamins. And one of the things she loved was that they have these little messages on the packages. And so every day on her Instagram story, she would share the messages. And people started asking her about the vitamins. So she went and signed up for their referral program. And when she would share it, she would also share the link in her story so that people can sign up. You don't need a following to do that. You need a following to make a lot of money doing that, but you don't need a following to just do it. So friend, just do it. And then if it's something that you decide you really want to lean into and make a lot of money from, then you've got to start thinking about, how do I grow a following? And there's a number of ways that you can do that. This won't be a tutorial on that, but really quickly, some of the easiest things that you can do is write blog posts. And just make sure that your blog posts are search engine optimized, SEO friendly. You're using the right keywords for people that would be looking for this type of product. The other thing that you can do is start building a newsletter as well. What if you created a free guide to, the top 10 things I'm using to stay healthy in my 40s, and all of those things had affiliate links, or the top 10 tools I use to manage my business on a day-to-day basis, or the top 10 things that I use to plan my life as a working mom of 3. And all of those things have affiliate links. So you can do things like that, creating evergreen content, building an email list, and just sharing things in your everyday life is a really good way to start. The next thing that people ask me about is brand partnerships and content creation. So content creation, you can make money from the platforms that you are posting on, and you can also make money from brands reaching out to you, but you can also apply for brand partnerships as well. I love that the field of content creation and brand partnerships is expanding and growing so much. Like it's a really, really cool space to be in. Now, I want to say everybody doesn't want to be on camera. Everybody doesn't want to be an influencer, but there are still ways to do brand partnerships and make money doing content creation. So blogging is not dead. It just isn't. Like I have a friend who her main content creation source of income is her blog. She has grown her blog to the point where she makes, I think, about $8,000 a month on average, I want to say. I think so. That's what she told me. She actually quit her job. So she quit her job late last year, and now she's a full-time blogger. And, that's something that was happening very often years ago. And a lot of people think blogs are dead, but they're not, because SEO is still a thing. And so she's making money multiple ways. So one, her blog makes ad revenue, right? So it just makes money because when people land on the page, ads are popping up and, she's getting paid ad revenue for that. But then she also gets affiliate marketing credit because all of her videos are going to have some type of affiliate link to a product or to something that you can buy, right? So if you're buying something, then she's getting commission from that as well. Then on top of that, she also has brands that reach out to her to do blog content, especially in the travel space. A tourism board might reach out to her and invite her to go to, let's say, Los Angeles, for example, or Cape Town, South Africa, because they want her to come there and capture images and tell stories about this city. And so she gets paid for that as well, doing a blog, guys, a blog. And you don't always have to be in front of the camera or be an influencer or be like, the Instagram girly. She's barely on Instagram, y'all, barely on Instagram, but her blog is popping. You can also do freelance writing. So I have a friend who she was unemployed for about 2 years, I want to say, but she made really good money doing freelance writing for other publications. So she did freelance writing I want to say she did some freelance writing for one of the big travel magazines. I can't remember which one it was, but she's done some writing for some of the big travel names. It's not travel noir. The word travel is in it. Why can't I think of the name of this magazine? Anyway, she has done some freelance writing for a lot of online publications. And a lot of that she either pitched directly to the publications or she answered the call for pitching. Sometimes companies will post on things like help a reporter out, or there's a couple of other tools that they use to say they're looking for someone to write an article about something XYZ. Matador Creators does this a lot. They'll send out calls for creators to pitch blog posts and all kinds of stuff. I think she's actually written for Matador as well, but she does freelance writing. So she's done a lot of freelance writing over that 2 years. She made really good money doing freelance writing. So that's something else you can do under the umbrella of content creation. It doesn't have to be your blog. You can write for other people's blogs as well. Photography is another one. So some people just do photography for brands. And I'm going to call this basically UGC content. So some content creators are really heavy into photography. Maybe they have an Instagram or a blog that really just highlights the photos of a place, where it's not like you're selling your lifestyle as a travel content creator, but you're selling the actual location. Like your focus is capturing beautiful videos and capturing beautiful photography where you don't have to be in the content. So photography or videography is another form of content creation. And then there's UGC, which is user generated content, where a lot of influencers and content creators, when we do content, we're posting it on our own platforms. But some companies are like, can you post some content for us to put on our platforms? Because we ain't got time for that. So there are quite a few UGC content creators, and some of the influencers have transitioned into UGC, where I'm going to create some content for my channel, but I'm also going to create some content that doesn't have me in it, that doesn't necessarily have my personality in it or anything like that. It's just something that they can put on their own. Now that can be faceless. It can be just about the product or the place, and it can also include you as well. For instance, I actually did a brand partnership for my channel that featured me doing something, but the company paid for that. But then they came back and asked if they could buy that content to post on their channels as well. So they paid me twice for that content. They paid me the first time to post it on my own channel, and then they bought the content from me to post it on their channel as well. And that part is called UGC. So that's another way to do brand partnerships in content creation. And how to get started in that, I mean, honestly, pick up a camera and start posting. Like that's really it. There's really no magic, although there are tips and tricks and things you got to focus on and niches you want to focus on and figuring out how to get your audience and find your audience. There are so many videos on YouTube about this. So there's two people that I really love that talk about how to get into content creation. One is Aaron on Demand, and another is Katie Steckley. So they talk about how to become, social media content creators and influencers and how they built their business. They give really great tips on how to get started. So I'd say go there, check those folks out. There's honestly so much content on how to become a content creator. It's not even funny. Next one that people asked me about was Airbnb Arbitrage. How did I start this? Y'all, I got lucky. I'm gonna keep it real. I got lucky. But I also did put myself in a position to be available to take advantage of this opportunity when it became available, right? So as you may know, back in April, I put my house up for rent with no plans on having anywhere else to live. I didn't have anywhere else to live when I put my house up for rent in April. So I let some tenants move into my house. I pretty much just got sick of saying that I wanted to be a real estate investor, but being too comfortable to actually go out and be a real estate investor. In this case, I was chatting with my mom about my living situation. So I had been essentially homeless for 8 months. And I want to say essentially homeless, definitely not actually homeless. I own a house. Someone else lived there. It would have cost me a lot of money to kick them out. But I hadn't secured another place to live. I was doing house sitting. I was traveling, and I was also visiting friends and, staying at their houses. And I was talking to my mom about what my next plans were and that I was maybe going to look for some real estate in Tallahassee, in my hometown, or still look for some real estate in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And my mom mentioned that one of her properties was coming available, and she originally wanted to sell it to me. That was the thing. She was originally going to sell it to me. And then she said, well, you can just rent it from me, right? So she was like, well, you can rent it from me and stay here. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that either. I would like to put it on Airbnb and see if we can make some money from it. And so that's how the Airbnb arbitrage, opportunity came to me. I got really lucky. Like the timing was just really, really good. And it happened to be my mother. So it's not like I had to really coerce or talk someone into, working with me and gaining trust and all that. This is my mom. Like, we're cool. She trusts me. So I got that opportunity. But if that opportunity had not just kind of fallen in my lap, there are a couple of other things I would have done to start. Okay. So if I were going to try to start Airbnb arbitrage, a couple of things I would do. I would understand what Airbnb arbitrage is, but you could look at apartments that are for rent. So in a college town, it would be really hard to do this. But if there are apartments for rent that have been sitting up for rent for a long time and the landlord is having trouble renting it out, that's a prime candidate for reaching out and proposing an Airbnb arbitrage situation. So a couple of ways that you can approach getting a landlord to allow you to put their place on Airbnb. And that's what Airbnb arbitrage is. Really quickly, if you don't know what Airbnb arbitrage is, it is basically putting a property on Airbnb that you do not own. Right? So you do not own the property. You are renting or leasing the property and earning money from it via Airbnb. That's what Airbnb arbitrage is. Here's a few proposals that you could make to a landlord for offering Airbnb arbitrage, right? So the first thing that you can do is you can offer to pay more than the asked rental rate. If you think that you're going to make a wide enough spread on between the Airbnb and the cost of renting the place out. Let's say that the rent is $1,000, but you think that you're going to make $2,000 a month from Airbnb. That's a spread of $1,000. So you may have some wiggle room depending on how much it's going to cost you to maintain the place. You may have some wiggle room. So you can say, hey, I see that your rent is $1,000. I'm willing to pay you $1,250 a month if you allow me to Airbnb this place. And you can provide the additional assurance that you are going to take really good care of the property because as an Airbnb owner, you want that property to be stellar every time someone checks in. One of the biggest concerns for landlords is, are their tenants going to take care of their property? And so you can give this landlord two things. You can give them more money than they were asking for, and you can give them assurance that you are going to take excellent care of their property. So that's one of the things that you can propose. Anytime that you go to propose something to someone, you have to always answer the question, what's in it for them? Why should they say yes to you? So think about the things that would make them uneasy about the deal and try to address those things, right? And so for the landlord, a few things that the landlord is concerned about: making their money, making the money they asked for, making it on time every month, and making sure that their property is taken care of and there's not a whole lot of things that they have to do. They want this to be passive, right? So if you can address those things, then it might be beneficial. I know a lot of people are afraid of Airbnb, but if you can think through what would be the things that they would say no to and try to answer those things and make it hard to say no, make it as easy as possible to say yes by offering them more money. You can also, instead of offering more money, if there's not a wide enough spread in what you think you're going to make, you can also offer to remove any maintenance costs, right? So one of the things that landlords have to do is if anything goes wrong with the property, they have to be the ones to come in and maintain it and fix it and do, all of those things. You can opt out of that. And you can opt out of that within reason, right? You get to define what your proposal looks like. You can say, if anything goes wrong besides something like the HVAC system or the piping or the foundation, I will take care of it. You don't have to worry about that because I want this property up to standard for the Airbnb guests. So you can remove that as a barrier to entry for this person because that means way less responsibility for them. Another option that you could propose is a revenue split. You can make $1,000 per month in rent on this property, or I bet we can make $3,000 a month on this property on Airbnb, and I'd be willing to split that with you. What do you think? right? So there's a number of ways that you could approach the Airbnb arbitrage. But what I would suggest doing is just doing some research about, people that are already doing Airbnb arbitrage and how they got started. That's one of the ways that I would try to approach Airbnb arbitrage. I actually want to do another one. So one of the things I'm thinking about doing, I'm just give you this tip, maybe it works for you. I haven't even tried it yet. This is just what I'm thinking about. Okay. So I'm just share this. So one of the things I've been thinking about doing is I ride around and I see a lot of these houses that are for sale and have been on the market for a while. And if they're empty, that means that the owners are really just paying for an empty property. They're paying a mortgage and or property taxes for an empty property. And so I would love to reach out to those owners and recommend to them that I put their place on Airbnb and split the profit with them so they can actually make some money off of that property. So that's another way to get started in Airbnb arbitrage. The thing that I'll do for you is there is a podcast episode of Real Estate Rookie where they talked about Airbnb arbitrage. I think I'm going to find that and I will put it in the description box for you. I'll also link it up here so that you guys can check it out. I really love the Real Estate Rookie podcast. I listen to it every day while I'm in the gym. One of my favorite podcasts. Project management consulting. So how did I get started doing project management consulting? So I've been a project manager for a very, very long time. So I spent most of my career at this point as a project manager. And I've done freelance project management full time before. So back in 2013, I started working for myself and I worked as a project manager and I had maybe 3 or 4 clients. And so how I got started with this, once again, is my own network. Just asking my friends what they have going on, what they're working on, or sharing on Facebook that I'm a project manager. And if anybody needs help with a project, let me know. I often talk to my friends who are business owners about their challenges in their business as well. So right now I'm doing consulting. I'm not doing project management consulting right now. I'm doing operations consulting, more like COO level work. And this came about in the very same way. I've done project management work for this client as well. But my first clients were my friends. My very first clients have always been my friends, and mainly because I'll talk to them about their business and I'll ask, what are some of the, biggest challenges that you're having in your business right now? Or what are some of your goals for your business over the next 3 to 5 years and how do you plan to get there? And these are just general conversations. And in a few cases, I actually think my very first client, in that case, I was really just having a conversation. Like I wasn't even trying to make this person a client. He mentioned that he was having issues with the returns process for his product. And I was like, I work in process improvement. Like I do business process reviews. At the time I was doing business process reviews at the Home Depot, like literally building out process maps and trying to understand where the issues and bottlenecks were in processes and recommending solutions to that, right? And understanding how to fix a process, how to get more money out of a process, and how to reduce costs in a process. And I was like, I can help you with that. He was like, really? So I did. So that was our first thing. The second thing, he had an issue with calculating sales commissions, literally just having a conversation. We were just having a conversation. And I was like, so what are you working on these days? And he was like, I'm trying to figure out how to build a sales commission model for my stylists. So his model for his beauty business was he had, maybe let's say 10 stylists. And instead of them renting the booth, which a lot of stylists do at hair salons, instead of them renting the booth, they basically made a commission for every person they sat in a chair. Right? So they don't have a fixed cost and they are incentivized to bring more people into the salon. And so his challenge was, if this commission model is going to work, I have to make sure that I'm accurately calculating their commissions on a biweekly basis and paying them on time. And my master's degree is in finance. I started out my career building financial models for Deloitte. So I worked in financial advisory services and I had to build financial models for mergers and acquisitions. And so I was like, oh, I know how to build financial models. Easy. And like I used to hang out in Excel all day. Like Excel was my girl. Like we kicked it all day, every day. And so I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that easy. So I ended up building this sales model the sales commission model to help him calculate, like he would give me the data from like how many people booked, how many hours, all this other stuff and what he paid. And I would feed it into this model that I built. And I also designed it so it would spit out reports that he could then send to each stylist. So they essentially had a pay stub that showed them how they earned their commissions. And so if they had any questions, all of that information was right there. So I built that for him. And that ended up turning into a longer term contract because he wanted me to basically just run his payroll every week. That was my first consulting client. And it came from me just having conversations and being inquisitive about the things my friends were working on. I also had another friend, I posted on Facebook that I was offering project management services and if anybody was interested. And one friend was like, listen, this is not like a huge project, but I literally need to put together a timeline for a presentation I have coming up and I don't have time to do it. So like for his day job, he needed to put together a timeline and he hired me. I think he paid me like $150 or something. And I just put together this, it was literally a one pager. I put together a timeline for him and, it was a timeline and a Gantt chart and I handed it off to him and I got paid for that. But I got started literally by just talking to people and telling people what I'm doing and posting on my Facebook page and offering my services. And so that has grown. My second client I was at a networking event in New York and we were at a table with a bunch of business owners and I asked the very same question. What are the biggest challenges everybody's having in their business right now? And one of the guys at the table, Shane Spencer, hey Shane, if you're out there watching this, we haven't seen each other in forever, but he was a web developer and he said that his biggest problem was his team finishing projects on time and on budget. And I was like, oh, you need a project manager. He was like, yeah, I do. 3 weeks later, he flew me to New York to meet his team. And we ended up working together for about 6 months, like literally just talking to people and asking questions. And then my third client, I got, working full time for myself as a project management manager. I got on Odesk, which is now Upwork. So Odesk was a freelance website that, people posted jobs that they, needed people for. And I applied for one and that client was in London. The next client I got was in Costa Rica and it was a web developer as well. And I got it on Odesk also. But most of my clients have been my friends. My current client right now that I'm doing COO work for is one of my friends. And honestly, we've been talking about me doing this work with her for years. For years, we've been talking about this for at least, I want to say 2 years. She'll always check in with me and just be like, how much would you charge me to help me out with XYZ? And we just always talk about like what her goals are for her business and what she would like to do. And I always just talk about, how I would love to help. And I give little tidbits and ideas here and there and plant seeds. And, now that seed is growing. So that's how I got started in consulting, just running my mouth. I actually have a potential other client who is also a friend. Who also, I just asked the question, like, girl, what you been working on? How's things going? How's business? Like, what are your goals for the next year? What is keeping you from reaching them? And she was like, I really want to open a second practice. And I just really need to get my operations together. And I was like, you know what? I'm an operations girly. How can I help? Right. So honestly, that mainly the clients that I've gotten have been me talking to people I already know. How can you get started in consulting? You likely have skills that people are willing to pay you for. You would be surprised. There are things that you know how to do that other people either don't know how to do, don't want to learn how to do, don't have time to figure out, and they would be more than happy to just pay you to do it. I'm telling you that you have skills that somebody would be willing to pay you for. And if you feel like you don't, the good thing is, like, there's so many tools that you can go and learn, right? There are so many things that you can go and learn. So if I were starting out trying to consult right now, and I didn't already have a PM background and all that other stuff, I would actually go and take some of these really cool tools and learn how to use them and become an expert. So let me give you an example. Notion is hot. Notion is hot, honey. Notion is having its moment. So I would go and learn how to use Notion. The cool thing is that's free to do. Notion is a free tool. So you can go sign up for Notion for free and learn how to make templates in Notion, learn how to set it up, go watch a bunch of YouTube videos on Notion. There's so many YouTube videos on Notion. And then start going to some of your friends, some business owners and other people to understand and ask them, are they struggling with being organized in their business and understanding where everything is? And when they hire contractors, making sure that, it's easy to give people access to things and everything's in one place. I actually went on a trip with one of my friend's friends, who this was a huge complaint of hers. One of her biggest complaints was that her business was not organized. And so if I were starting out and I didn't already have project management experience or didn't feel comfortable with project management, and that wasn't necessarily my lane, but I wanted to start out as a consultant or contractor or freelancer, I would go learn how to use something like Notion and then start setting it up for people. I would reach out to people that I already know. I would also go on Fiverr and Upwork and offer those services. The other thing that I would do is I would create Notion templates and sell them on Etsy, sell them on Gumroad, and I would even offer a few for free just to build my email list and then start to sell other templates. Like one of the things that I could do, because I create a planner, and I'm big on planning. Like I cannot wait to start sharing some planning and productivity content because that's stuff I love talking about. Anyway, every week I used to print out this sheet where I would put my goals for the week in my 6 categories. And it was color coded and it was super cute. So I would turn that into a Notion template and make it free for people to download and share it with folks. And then when they go to download it, I would also create a more advanced template that people could then buy for $10, $15, right? Just to start out, and then just kind of keep building on that. That's one way to start out. But the consulting piece is understanding how to use the tool so well that you do it for other people. And you can do that with tools like Notion. You can do that with customer service tools like Freshdesk. A lot of small businesses really need customer service. They need good customer service tools. Freshdesk is free. You can go and sign up for Freshdesk and learn how to use it, and then start offering to set that up for small businesses so they have professional looking customer service tools as well. That way they can have customer touch points. You can set up automated emails that go out to their customers like, hey, we got your email. We just want to acknowledge that we see you. We'll respond within 48 hours. You can learn how to do things like that and then consult with companies on how to improve their customer service programs and all kinds of stuff. If I was starting out with consulting, I strongly suggest you lean into the tools that you already have, the skills that you already have, and lean into the people that you already know. And if you don't have that, we live in a time where you can learn how to do so many things at a low cost and very quickly as well. So I would learn how to, use some of these tools and then start offering consulting to the people that I know, but also going on platforms like Fiverr and Upwork and offer templates, but then offer consulting as kind of that high ticket item. That's how I would get started. I gotta go to the airport in 30 minutes. We're almost done here. Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful in understanding how I got started in these side hustles. I know you probably looked at that video and was like, oh, she said she made $75,000 this year. We ain't there yet. I just want to remind you, we all have to start from somewhere. I did not wake up with a large following. Like this was years and years of, putting out content, talking to people and sharing information and sharing my own journeys and things like that. And so where to start? Is just to take the first step. Take the first step, make the first action. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful in that I shared with you how I got started and how I would start today. I really hope that the next video is really helpful as well. Someone posted in the last video that they would love to see They would love to see my plan to get to 100,000. I thought that was a genius idea. And so I posted a video about my path to 100K. So please check that video out. And thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one.